war with the beast Yahweh on trial 3, and they all worship the dragon. What we have here is not a race war, what we have is a war of the worlds, human of Genesis 1 versus alien hybrids of Genesis 2, between human vs the Ish and Isha man-animal. Break in the codes. The real human of Genesis 1 had no need to worship any supreme being, as they saw themselves as one with the all that is, source, and they were given domination over the earth until the Annunaki, fallen alien demon of Genesis 2, taught humans to worship. Worship them, in fear and trembling, and lead us away from our inner connection to the monad, source, our spiritual essence. Elohim equals gods was usurped by the Yahweh's equals Lord. Marduk, son of Ea Enki, the raw fraction of Annunaki, became God over much of Ea Enki domain. Christ was usurped by the image of the beast. Jesus, and Jesus are two alien boys on the moon. They all worship the dragon. They all worship the dragon. Yahweh, the Yahwehs, is the dragon of Genesis 2 that created the hybrids, mankind, kind of a man-human artificial man-animal. This is not to be confused with the atoms, humans, male and female, that was created by the real gods in their divine image. Elohim of your Bible, the primordial creators of Kemet, the monad, and the eons from the center of the pleroma, of the Gnostics, of Genesis 1, who created the pre-existing primordial black race in their image, male and female. He created the atoms, humans, millions of years before the Demiurge Annunaki reptilian invasion. After Yahweh and his clique of reptilians from Alpha Draconis constellation by way of the Nibiru attack and subdue Tiamat Terra, throwing her out of her natural orbit, reducing the lifespan of the humans to around 120 years, smashing up over a half of our planet and scattering it as the asteroid belt as a trophy of his victory according to the lost book of Enki, captured some of the atoms, humans, and kept them in an enclosure, after putting the humans to sleep. A sleep of ignorance possible brought about by bringing the flagship Lev and the Moon into the newly captured star system, namely orbiting Earth. After putting the atoms to sleep, they extracted a cell, the mitochondrial extraction from the bone marrow of one of the atoms rib, and made the hybrids of Genesis 2. Who are these hybrids that came and supplanted the original black primordial humans? You would be surprised. Don't allow your personal beliefs to edit your research. Don't fight the myth. The bigger question that you need to ask yourself, are you a product of the pre-existing gods of Genesis 1? Or, are you the abomination made-up engineered hybrid creatures by the Demiurge, Annunaki, fallen demons of Genesis 2? Welcome to your judgment morning. The Orients refer to their creator as a dragon. This is their documents, not my opinion. In the Hindus' valley they refer to their goddess the Nagas, serpents. The so-called Indians of the Americas, for instance the Iroquois and the Sioux tribes' names actually means serpent, who refer to them as their serpent brothers. In South Americas they refer to him as Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent. All across the world, no nation is above reproach. No continent has escaped the invasion. The white race in general is the product of the Annunaki, reptilians using the mitochondrial extraction from the stock of the humans, mixed possibly with rhesus and the gibbons monkeys and their own reptilian genes to create this new man-animal over 5,775 years ago. This is not my opinion. This is your documents. After this monumental error in creation on our planet by the Archons, the first mankind they made was Adapta, whose name literally means dirt ape. It means dirt, and Appa is the root word for ape, who is the product of Enki's creation. This is not my opinion. This is your documents. The Jews in particular are as artificial man, hybrids, man-animals that was created by the Annunaki and then became a higher strand of this alien demon's DNA when they started having sex with the fallen angels Arkansai Jiggy, Annunaki demon who they call God. Now you understand what they mean when they say that they are God's chosen wood frickin' God. Oh, you mean the Annunaki fallen reptilian demons? What a joke. Not even human. This is not my opinion. This is your documents. And they all worship the dragon. And they all worship the dragon. When you understand this part of the mystery, then you understand the reasons for all the broken conditions in the world. These freaking hybrid races on Earth are not even humans. That explains everything. That is why they can commit the atrocities that they do against humanity. That explains why the primordial pre-existing black race has been oppressed collectively by all of these Johnny-come-lately hybrids to my planet. For one reason or another, they were unable to stay for any length of time on Geosophia Terra Earth, whether it was the quicker orbit that causes them to age exponentially or the fact that they cannot survive long on Earth in their first state, reptilian form. So they created a shaft in the middle of the enclosure your Bible referred to as the tree of knowledge of good and evil. When they used the shaft, they appeared to be human. So the image that we see when we look at them is the image of the beast. This image of the beast will then be referred to later in Revelation. And the dragon gave the power to the beast image, and they all worship the dragon. So they use this shaft in order to appear humanoid on the third-dimensional matrix and the Elohim of Genesis 1, who then told the humans, Adams, not to use the shaft. How coincidental it is that the Zulu shaman Credo Matwa describes when the Chutahiras Yahweh's Annunaki Reptilian, the original humans had both male and female organs in one body. The Chutahiras made them walk through a tunnel or a shaft with two entry, one with red lights and one with a blue light. Those humans who went into the blue side of the shaft lost their feminine side, and those that walked through the red side of the shaft lost their masculine side. Drawing from the Gnostics, Adam described to Set when he and Eve were one before the Demiurge split them into two separate beings. Apocrypha of Adam. Nag Hammadi Library. What we have here is not a race war. What we have is a war of the worlds. Humans of Genesis 1 versus alien hybrids of Genesis 2. Between human versus the Ish and Isha, man-animal. According to the Babylonian and Mesopotamian mythology, it was Marduk in the war between Nibiru and Tiamat. Marduk, son of Enki, was the principal military commander who destroyed Tiamat. It is also to be noted that in the Lost Book of Enki, Nibiru was also referred to as Marduk in the same war against Tiamat. After arriving, they divided up the remainder of Tiamat, Terra, Ki, which will later become known as Earth after Ea, into lots amongst themselves. Enki's region was Africa, the Americas and Middle East. The documents made it abundantly clear that Marduk became Ra and Ningirjita became Thoth, another one of Enki's son, also known as Quetzalcoatl. Just how was this implemented? The heretic pharaoh Akhenaten brought in one edict that states the supreme god was now Amen-Ra. So Ra, Marduk, son of Ea, Enki to assume authority over much of Enki domain along his brother Thoth, while Yahweh got supplanted on Elohim started in GN 2:4 and the Lord, which mean Yahweh, captured the earth. As Jesus got supplanted on the Christ, what we have here is not a race war. What we have is a war of the worlds. Human of Genesis 1 versus alien hybrids of Genesis 2. Between human vs the Ish and Isha, man-animal. Christ was usurped by the image of the beast. Jesus, Christ, Christos in the Gnostic goes back to a being in the pleroma. This is where you would find the monad and the eons, the real pre-existing gods that projected their creation out to the Kanoma, the limbs of the galaxy. In fact, the Aeon that is responsible for the original creation projection was Sophia, and her consort, the Christ. This is not to be confused by some boy on the moon named Jesus. Where did Jesus come from? Heru Kansuna Furhadap, the beautiful one. Yes, we understand that the Jesus myth was taken from a composite of deities Osar and Heru. However, the name derives from Heru Kansuna Furhadap. Kansu Hensu Yesu Yesu Jesus. The bottom line is Heru Kansu is a moon deity. Yup. Jesus is some reptilian alien boy on the moon and is the image of the beast. We need to understand that Jesus is an archetypical thought form that the dragon uses to get the humans to give up their divinity and power over to the dragon. Ja and Jesus are two alien boys on the moon. Research Egyptian moon deity. Laja and Heru Kansuna Furhadep. What we have here is not a race war. What we have is a war of the worlds. Human of Genesis 1 versus alien hybrids of Genesis 2. Between human vs the Ish and Isha man-animal. Who are these man-animals? Hybrids that has enslaved humanity with their Federal Reserve? Who are these Ish and Isha hybrids of Genesis 2 who steals the nation's resources with their World Bank? Who are these kind of a man who mislead the nations with their homosexual primetime mass media? Who are these man-animal who has gained control of all heads of government as they pull the puppet master strings from Jerusalem and indulge in their bloodletting rituals? Who are these man-animal hybrids? Talking monkeys who is bent on destroying the human race with their GMO hybrid food? The irony of it all is that not so long ago they used to say we are 5/8 of a human when we are the real human and they are just hybrids made by accursed lesser gods of physical matter. They are serpents, offspring of vipers, synagogues of Satan. The sheer audacity for you to think that we were created at the same time by the same creators while you try to destroy us every step of the way in this revelation after the Daniel Rock destroy your alien technology that make you appear human. Humanity will see you for what you are, a reptilian piece of shit. What we have here is not a race war. What we have is a war of the worlds. Human of Genesis 1 versus alien hybrids of Genesis 2. Creation of the original benevolent Elohim, Monad, versus the creation of the Demiurge, Reptilian Annunaki clique, Yahweh's. Once we realize on a mass level that the enemies of humanity is not even human, you will realize that you are going to have to fight Arjuna. Fight, said Lord Krishna. Yes, ye mighty ancient of days, primordial black race, you are going to fight. Because if we allow the hybrid to continue to dominate the earth, it will have far-reaching implications. As below so above. Fight Arjuna, fight. Fight your royal black race, sons of the pre-existing gods. The earth belongs to you. To overcome our alien custodio remus, Annunaki fallen demons and their abomination kind of a man of Genesis 2, we must divest ourselves of all religion that cause us to give our divinity to some fallen critters that are clearly our inferiors. Instead of realizing that our creation was projected by the monad via the eons is one. The all is one, and any fractal within the all, while still a part of the all, it is at the same time the all itself. That is why they have to resort to such deprived, desperate bottom-feeding trickeries. We are directly from the monad, the pre-existing gods eons. While these reptilian critters are a product of Sophia as error, and they all worship the dragon, and they all worship the dragon, and they all worship the dragon.